Hi, guys. Welcome back to Love Ariel. I am so happy to be back recording and sharing with you guys. I am recording video today, which is a first. I'm super excited, and if this all turns out well, then you can also watch the video component to this podcast, which I am so excited about because I love video podcasts. That's probably one of my favorite ways of nourishing myself with a podcast is by watching people talk and interacting. I think it's so special. And I'm happy to be doing that myself. So, this is a one woman show. I actually have no idea what I'm doing, but I am learning as I go. And I hope that this is a really nice experience for you. Um, so, I've been gone from the podcast for a little over a month, if not 2 months, and it has been such a necessary break. I have been really just pouring so much into myself and into my life, into my body, that I really needed the space to kind of reground myself in my life, to be able to share and talk with you all. So let's just get into what I've been up to. I have really been enjoying my summer this year. I think this has been one of the best summers. I've really been taking advantage of a slower work season and really allowing myself to just be outside every day. Your girl has been swimming. I have been going to Laguna Beach like every week because the water there is so warm and the water is so blue and it's so salty, like way saltier than Malibu. I love it when like the little salt crystals dry on my skin. So that has been such a lovely experience, and it's really made me fall in love with California that much more. Like, I am just such a California girl right now, which is crazy because I still don't have a California ID. I'm still rocking an Illinois ID because one, I love my ID photo, but two, I identify so deeply with Chicago as a city, as a culture. I identify so much with the South Side, and that wasn't something I was really able or willing to give up until this summer, honestly, when I was really just cleansing myself of unnecessary attachments to identity and being certain about any one thing, whether that's about myself or my philosophy of the world. And now that I've really just given myself the chance, and also my lifestyle affording me the time to slow down and enjoy nature, enjoy the environment in which I live, like my home. I am obsessed with my home now. And I feel like I meet so many people who live here and they love it or they don't love it or they're like, eh. And I guess that goes for every city. And I think there's something so special about loving where you live. Because when you don't love where you live, it's very obvious how that negatively affects you. And I think sometimes that comes from not even giving a city the chance, not sharing yourself with the city and experiencing all that it has to offer. And I've found so much beauty in what's right in front of me and really just appreciating this home that is LA for me and California. I love California. I love the desert. I love the forest. I love the water. I love everything here and my life here. I love my home, like my apartment. I love my friends. I just really do love my life here. And I feel like that was a very prominent theme of my summer, was just like swimming and being like, yes, like I get to swim in the ocean and this is my home. Like, what are you talking about? And growing up in Chicago, I had similar feelings when it came to, walking around downtown and hanging out with all my different friends and doing all these different things. But the nature in California has just seduced me to a different, slower life than what I'm used to growing up in the city. And I am so thankful for that. I have also been rewatching The OC because my partner hasn't seen it before. And so we're rewatching The OC while also just like spending a lot of time in Orange County. And it is a very white show, but I love it. And the intro song, California, California, here we go. I can't sing, but that song, I forgot who it was by, but I'm just like, that's my theme song of the summer. Like, California, I'm just like in love. So I'm really happy about that. Hopefully I'll get my California ID soon. That's coming up. But yeah, so along with, swimming and hiking and, camping and traveling around the state and just in general this summer, I have been really enjoying moving my body and it feels so good. Like, okay, let me give you a breakdown. Growing up, I was like a dancer my whole life, classically trained in Bharatanatyam, which is a classical Indian dance form that tells the stories of Hindu mythology. And that was an incredible outlet for me. And I don't think I was really conscious of what kind of outlet that was for me growing up. But I learned so much from that dance form, so much from, how to move my body awareness, really understanding the archetypes of woman, being a goddess, being a warrior, how to perform, how to connect with an audience, and kind of like an energy play, like how to give energy, to share energy, and how to story tell through facial expressions, mudras, your body, and really what it means to be a part of like a family and a team. I haven't felt a lot of those things since I left because I didn't have a discipline to go to. And I was never the kind of person that would go to a workout class. That was never a priority of mine, like when I went to college or anything. Like I was not the workout kind of girl. I really didn't like being in those kinds of environments. I hadn't found an environment that suited me or that inspired me, even motivated me to keep coming back, or made me feel safe and comfortable. So I was kind of lost. Like, what do I do with all this energy? And I can dance in my room 24/7. I can do that. But I think there is something so potent and special about discipline, and a discipline from being trained by someone else and being in a workout class with a bunch of other people, which is funny because yesterday I was in a workout class that I'll tell you more about, but we were all doing like pretty much a variation of jumping jacks, and we were all in unison, and I just could not stop smiling and laughing because I thought it was so cute. Like, it is so cool that people come together and work out or dance and like do these things, and it's just so powerful. Like, I don't know what it means, but the energy that I feel when we're like doing jumping jacks in unison is so cute and so special. So I have been moving my body a few different ways recently, more intentionally. One of those being a low impact workout class that my friend Melissa put me on because I went on her podcast and she recommended this studio called P-Volve, and I'm obsessed now. I absolutely love it there. It's really opened my eyes to a new way of working out, because I think previously when I was younger, I thought working out was to get fit, to get skinny, to get lean, to get toned, to like maybe build muscle, to get strong, I guess. But now when I'm moving, I'm just doing it because it makes me feel good. I don't care what the results are as long as I feel good and that I'm excited to work out and that I want to work out and it makes me happy. And that's been the most life-changing switch, is that I work out because it makes me feel good and I feel happy, not because I'm looking for a certain outcome. And that's what's worked for me, and that's what this workout class has really helped me do, because I guess this workout class has been engineered by dancers, so it gives me a little bit of what I have been craving these past few years that I haven't been getting since I've stopped dancing consistently. And I really love it. And it's just a whole bunch of women. The energy is amazing. Everyone is so sweet and so supportive. And I love the environment. The environment is super important to me, and it has definitely sold itself to me. So that is one of the workouts I'm doing for like feel good strength, like really getting the sweat on, fitness. Then I started yoga, which me and yoga have such a long storyline, I feel like, because my mother is a yogi, my grandparents have done yoga their whole lives, Also, growing up in Buddhist culture, yoga was just like, seemed like a way of life, just an everyday thing that you do. And growing up, I would do it with my mom, like as a baby and as a child. We would do yoga together in the morning. And then, as life unfolded, I wasn't with my mother like I was before. And I didn't really have the opportunity or the environment to practice yoga with my mother in the morning as a kid and really keep up that practice. And when I got older, I just didn't really know if I connected with yoga. I'm like, I'm not going to pay for workout classes. Yoga classes, because I'm 16, 17, 15, 14, whatever. Like that just wasn't a priority. I didn't think that was something that I needed. It was not something that anyone thought I needed that was, guiding my life at the time. I did have Indian dance though, which has a lot of the same mudras, and it feels like yoga but in dance. So, I was very familiar with the meditative, stretching, very intentional poses. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but that is what I got from Bharatanatyam. And so I feel like I was very connected to yoga in that way, but very disconnected because it wasn't a practice that I, prioritized. And so when I got older and I left college and stuff, everyone's taking yoga classes, everyone's wearing their aloe yoga, they're wearing their Lululemon, and I just didn't understand what that whole culture was about. I didn't understand this kind of whitewashed fitness oriented yoga culture. And I think that was really hard for me because I felt so disconnected from my culture, period, and then disconnected from, a very potent practice that can bring me back into self. So that lasted for a good while until this month or this past month or this summer, where I started practicing yoga at a new studio, because I tried a place by me once and I really didn't like the environment. I did not like the instructors. I don't think I was ready to absorb their teachings or their way of practice. So I'm glad that I have found a school where it just feels so calming, so welcoming. I don't feel tense or stressed or like I should know everything, because I don't. I'm a full beginner and am loving the slowness and the stretches that I'm learning right now. So yeah, I am so happy with yoga. I'm feeling very much so I'm just feeling that just really energized energy that I was not feeling for a little while now. And I think that's part of the reason why I took a break from podcasting, because I was really getting so restless and so tired. I felt like I had no energy because I wasn't moving the energy inside me. And I only had like maybe one or two outlets, but I wasn't moving the energy through me consistently to feel energized. And I feel like the more tired I am and the restless I am and the low energy I am, it's because I'm not moving what's available. I'm just sitting on my phone, scrolling on TikTok and taking naps because I love naps, but it wasn't a very, I wasn't breathing life into myself. And speaking of TikTok, I have since deleted the app. It feels really good. I don't think I'm really going through withdrawals at all. I do miss scrolling and catching up on people that I follow and, looking at content. I love content. I love that whole world of, things of social media. But for right now, I'm feeling really good, feeling disconnected from it all because during this break that I took from the podcast, I kind of saw it as like a break period from my mind. I started reading the book, The Power of Now, which has really helped me hone in on certain tools and mechanisms of life that really bring me into the present moment. And I was really, really needing that because I felt so connected to accomplishment identity, attached to certain ideas that I had for myself and for my life, of expectations I had for myself and of the trajectory of my life, who I thought I was, who I thought I was gonna be, what I was wearing, the kind of brands that I'm working with, how I present myself, my personality, like all these different little aspects are beginning to become really overwhelming. Like, whoa! And I don't know if that is just a byproduct of growing up and being in your mid-20s, of being like, holy cow, I know nothing, and everything that I thought I knew about myself or the world, what even is that? What do I do with that, and how do I move forward? Like, what? And I think I felt those feelings of confusion and disconnect a little bit, every day, a little bit every day. And then it got to a point where I was like, something's got to give and something's got to change for me to release this. I need to release all these little things and all these little aspects of self that I think I know, because I don't know shit, okay? I don't know anything. And I love that. That has been so freeing. I don't want to be certain about anything. Why? Like, I am ever evolving. We are ever evolving. This world is ever evolving. I just want to flow. And I want to know with a capital K what I know internally, which I think is it's a deeper, it's a grounded, it's not anxious, it's not nervous, it's non-seeking. It's just still. It's a still foundation of knowing. And it's less of, if you wear this outfit, then you'll be perceived as this or whatever. And I felt so free from just being like, I know nothing. I'm just flowing. I'm a normal freaking human being who just wants to go to yoga, eat good food, and swim in the ocean. And it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. I feel like most of the practices that we can implement into our life for a more grounded and loving existence are simple things like the food that you eat, the entertainment that you're ingesting, whether that's podcasts, music, TV, any kind of entertainment, being intentional about those choices, being intentional about how you use your time. And during this time, I've been intentional about really cultivating loving friendships with new people and putting myself out there and dedicating time to myself in nature, giggling in the waves, and, not really chasing the bag. I've been really prioritizing just a steady, stable life outside of the industry hustle, and that has been such an amazing summer for me. And I think that growing up as a young woman in the industry and modeling has been such a unique experience. I am so grateful for modeling because it has afforded me this lifestyle. I am so thankful. And with that gratitude that I have for my career and this path that I've been on, I'm also able to take a step back and realize all the little things that modeling in the industry has programmed within me that aren't natural to me. Like constantly worrying about my image, constantly worrying about how I am perceived, constantly worried about being on 24/7, making sure that I'm skinny, that I'm fit, that my skin is perfect, that I am making myself sellable for brands that I want to work with, and really just breeding so much anxiety. And that's not natural to who I am. It's not natural for us to compare ourselves to people. It's not natural for us to really examine and observe ourselves in such a close lens with like a magnifying glass. Like, I don't want to observe myself in that way. I would much rather just live and not be so hyper aware of my flaws and whatever, or the things that make me beautiful. I just don't care. And I was really able to let that go by just really honing in and meditating on the fact that what makes you beautiful, what makes you desirable, what makes you you is what makes you unique. So what makes you unique is just you. You don't have to do anything to change that. I don't have to do anything to change me, to make me better, to make me more sellable. I won't buy into that anymore. Cut your hair so that this will happen. Do this so this will happen. All the ads you get on your phone, you need this lip plumper, you need that. Like, no, I don't need any of that, because what makes me beautiful is what makes me unique. And I fully believe that, because when I see everybody else out there in the world, I'm like, you are so beautiful because you are so magnificent in your own unique creation. Like, frick, you are so cool. Like, I love that we're all so different. It's so beautiful to see how nature just creates perfection, and there's nothing we need to manipulate to make that better. Of course, I love a little enhancement here and there, like a necklace or lip gloss. I'll put curl cream in my hair, but those are like little things, and you're not really manipulating yourself, and it doesn't play on this part of you that wants to please others, and it pleases yourself. So I've been really, really happy about that change for me. It has brought me so much more ease in my mind. And I do think a lot of that comes from taking a step back from social media. I, got off TikTok, but I also have made an effort to not find escape and, like a come down period through my phone. Sometimes I'll just like, oh, okay, decompression time, like decompress on Instagram. I've been reading fiction, which has been so much fun. I usually have a really hard time reading fiction. I don't know why exactly, but I do much prefer reading nonfiction, self help, art, spiritual books. Because I feel like I can automatically apply it to my life. But I think also reading all of these nonfiction books, self help, spiritual books, was really putting me in a space of constantly working, constantly thinking I have to improve myself, constantly thinking I'm not good enough. There's more that I need to learn, that's more that I need to gather to be in the place that I want. And that's just not true. But the more that I, learn and like actively read those books, the more anxious it was making me, and I needed an escape. So I'd go on my phone, and the two would kind of just counteract each other. They just like weren't working together. They were just like not doing much. So I've been reading fiction, and I got into the Throne of Roses. Throne of Roses. Yeah, Throne of Roses series, which is like an 8-book series. It's a fantasy, romance, romantasy, and I've been loving it. My cousin loves this series. She's read it multiple times, so I was really, really excited to get into it, and I'm hooked, and that's been the perfect way for me to just disconnect from my phone, disconnect from technology and overanalyzing me and others, and just enjoying a book and a story. And that's been such a great decompression. And I've been loving reading, and that has been such a healing part of my summer, because I feel like growing up I liked to read, and then reading became homework. It became learning material, and I did not like it one bit. I did not like to read, and my dad would force me to read. I hated that even more, and most times I would lie, and it would just stupid. So now I also feel like I'm healing that little kid in me that was told that she was lazy, and because she didn't like to read, she was dumb. But I just want to read what I want to read, okay? I'm an Aries. I don't like being told what to do. So I finally found my path in the way where I enjoy it. So that's been really, really sweet. I've also been practicing saying no this summer, just saying no to plans, saying no when I don't have time, really just not putting myself out there so much and sharing so much of myself, because being a model, being in the industry, you are constantly sharing yourself. You are sharing all parts of you, maybe not the vulnerable parts of you, but enough where you're depleted and you can't even share the vulnerable parts of you. And when I started the podcast, I was really enjoying sharing myself in a new way that was more than my image, that was more than my body, more than my value in capitalism. And that was so beautiful and so healing, to be able to share my voice, to share my heart, to share my thoughts, and to connect with you all in that way has been beautiful. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm sharing myself everywhere, and I don't even know who I am anymore, right? I was like in my confused mindset. And now I realize that I had to kind of create boundaries for myself and kind of check in and realize, what am I willing to share with people? How am I willing to share with people? And at what speed? When am I sharing myself with people? And that has been really helpful, because there's some things that I just want for myself. There are some things I don't want people to touch, whether that is physically, mentally, when I'm modeling, most times, you have to shut your body off. You have to really separate yourself from yourself and remember, okay, my body is a business right now. But when I come home, my body is mine. And making that switch can be kind of hard, especially if when you're shutting it off, it's not conscious. So I've been really enjoying these slower months where I haven't been working as much because I've been able to, okay, my body's mine. People aren't touching me all the time. I'm not naked in front of a bunch of people all the time, you know. And I don't mind being naked in front of people, okay? I enjoy it. But when it's a work setting, it's a little bit different. Because there are different layers. It's a bit more nuanced. It's less untethered and more tethered. But yeah, I have been just choosing how to share myself. And in doing that, I needed to exercise saying no. And I didn't even realize, well, honestly, I did realize. Through my whole life, I needed to learn how to say no because more often than not, my initial reaction would be to be silent or just say yes. And saying no, I feel like is very hard for women on a multitude of occasions. And it wasn't until I started working out where we'd be in class and like the warm up or the post stretch would be like, shake your head yes and shake your head no. And oh my God, even when I'm doing it now, shaking my head no, that feels so good. Who would have thunk just a simple body movement of shaking your head no could be so healing? And usually they'll be like, okay, hang your head low, shake your head yes, and shake your head no. And when you can just let your neck go and say no, no, it feels so good. And I don't know if that's just me, but let me know if you feel the same because saying no has been so electrifying. I'm like, that turns me on. Saying no turns me on, not saying yes. So that has been lovely. And on the topic of body movement, I know I'm kind of like skipping around in today's episode, but it's just because I'm so excited to like come here with a new fresh perspective and, you know, ready for a new season that is fall. I have really been enjoying going to ceremonies and community gatherings. And I've been trying out a few different places, but it wasn't until this past week I went to an event that was a tea ceremony and movement ceremony, and it was amazing. For me, what really made the difference with this community was that there was a lot of people of color. And that's what I feel like is missing in many spiritual communities, at least in LA. The communities that I have, you know, put myself in and experienced, a lot of them were very white. The people who are guiding this ceremony is white, and the people I'm surrounded by are white, and that's fine. I've been able to connect and have really amazing times. But it wasn't until this past week when the women who were guiding the ceremony were fellow Blasians, and the people around were of all different lineages, I felt so safe. I felt like I could really just be in ceremony, to give myself to the altar and to the people I'm sharing the space with, and to cry. There have been many occasions where I was in ceremonies like this and I've, you know, really wanted to give myself and to really be vulnerable and really to unleash my soul and connect with spirit. I haven't been able to. And at this ceremony, I was able to. And that was just amazing. I was crying, girl. I was crying. I was moving. I was like, oh my God, my heart is open. I'm ready to just experience and to receive, not facilitate, but receive. I'm here to listen. I'm not here to talk. I mean, unless I'm intentionally sharing. And it was just so lovely to connect with people. We were sweating and dancing and partners and just moving our body however it wanted to go. We were using our voice and humming and doing different, we were doing like wind, like, I don't know, water, fire, like, and like, my throat is dry right now, but like different air sounds and wind sounds and humming and like everything. And there was an altar, and we were getting into our lineage and our ancestry and really paying respect to those that came before us and to where we came from and where we're going. It was just so beautiful to have a time for the lineage, to have a time for the ancestors, and really connecting to spirit through that. And yeah, it was so lovely, so lovely. I also did a breath work session just at home with my partner, and it was really great because we really needed it. We were like super anxious that day and like feeling very and I actually went to this I did this breath work before the tea ceremony. And I did it on the Open app, and I forgot what the girl who's leading it said, but I think she was talking about like what excites you and what's holding you back. Something along the lines of that. And in my head, when I was doing the breathing, like, I was thinking, I'm excited by potential. I'm so excited about the potential to alchemize in this world, how much magic exists, how much information, how everything is interlocked and connected and oh so perfectly beautiful, and that the world is explosive of energy. But what's holding me back is my own energy. Feeling tired, feeling unmotivated, feeling confused, feeling stagnant. And I started crying during the breath work. I was like, God, please just show me what I need to do. Universe, just love and creation, show me what I need to do. How can I be of service? Where can I give myself, give my gifts? Where can I pour in so that I can feel the full expansiveness of this existence? How can I reach my potential? How can I expand what that even looks like? And I just started crying because it's just a full moment of being receptive. Just, I'm here to receive. I'm here to receive and I'm here to give. And it's just going to be this endless cycle. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be closed off. I don't want to have, dead energy. I mean, dead energy doesn't exist, but I want to make sure that I am circulating this passion and giving it to others. I want to make sure that I'm circulating and circulating and circulating, and that it keeps the engine going, and that somehow this excitement and passion that I have for love and connection in this world, this euphoric feeling, how can I give that in a way where it's meaningful for others so that I can also sustain my energy to keep it going? And that's what really brought me here today to do this episode. I think this is a little bit different than all my other episodes, but you know what? Love Ariel is an exploration of self. I am just exploring life right now. I'm exploring my life, and I'm sharing that with you. And I hope that it helps. I don't know. I hope that it's something. And I hear so many great things and feedback from you guys, and I'm so grateful for that. Even when I've been gone, people have been telling me that they've been listening, and it's really been meaning a lot to them, and that means a lot to me and motivates me even more. So thank you. I'm currently feeling very activated, very like like turned on. Happy, calm, grounded, yet floaty, and just so connected to the depths of who I am. And that's all I wish for all of us. I wish that we all can feel the depths of who we are, to not attach ourselves to unnecessary and false identities that do not belong to you, but that have kind of stuck on to you like a sticker through the days, through the times, like little dust, debris, and just really cleanse yourself of all of that any way that you can. Maybe some of the practices or the things that I've shared that help me do so will help you really get to equilibrium of just like your inner knowing of who you are. And who you are is, your love, your perfect love that exists in you, that resonates with others outside of you. And yeah. So here's to being uncertain, but knowing. And here's to love that keeps us going. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you next week.